Happy Monday, beautiful people. Yeah, sorry about that. Look, I'm sitting here. Y'all saw the little 30-second countdown. So I'm right here, and all of a sudden, when it was time for the intro that just came on to go in, I was clicking it. I'm like, what in the world? Why did it? Like the whole thing. I'm like, okay, maybe it's my mouse. So I'm up here trying to click it. Then I realized my Wi-Fi signal was like completely grayed out. I'm like, what? And I looked up here because I got a connection down here and it's flashed. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened to the Wi-Fi? My husband came down the stairs. He said, I don't know. He said the power just went out in our bedroom. He said, I don't know what happened. I didn't touch anything. So he came out here and he flipped the breaker. And I'm like, oh my gosh. He said, you was live? I said, yeah. I mean, I hadn't started talking yet, but but we here. All right, beautiful people. Let's get going. Y'all, it is Monday, May the 1st, 2023. It is day, I think I miscounted my days on the page or something. 24. What I put? What's today's title, y'all? Hold on. I feel like I messed the title up. Day 33. I gotta fix it. How am I on day 33? Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Is day 29? That's weird. Hold on. Videos. $33, $32, $31, $30, $29, $28, $27, $26, $25, $24, $23, $22, $21, $20, $19, $18, $17, $16, $15. Hold on. I must have messed it up in my book. Hold on, y'all. 14. I don't know what I did. Day 1, we started March 27th. It's weird because I'm not even sure. It don't even look off in my book. And it don't look off on the website. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I skipped 2 whole days. I'm off in my book. I did not catch it. Okay, day 33. Day 33 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Another 5-year consecutive day count. It is day 1412. Today, we're picking back up in the next book, in Owaspi, chapter 3, on page 129. Book of Osiris, son of Jehovah. And then once we finish here, we're going to finish up the rest of the book of Enoch and the Holy Megillah, also known as the Secret Nazarite Scroll. So, Father, we thank you for reboots. You know how sometimes you just need to start over? Well, not starting over our spiritual walk, just the whole internet connection is just, I felt like it was right to say today. So, Father, thank you for reboots. Because sometimes we need them in our life. You got to reboot your diet, reboot your way of thinking, reboot your spiritual life, so reboot all the way around. All right, beautiful people. Y'all see a bright and early. Say, Yahoo, shalom. Avia, shalom. Tabitha, greetings, sis. Scroll down. Tone, the lonely one. Shalom, shalom. Dawn, hey, sis. Happy birthday to our Miriam of Magdalene. Whose birthday today? Whose birthday today? I think Vanette said her birthday is on the 3rd. Whose birthday today? Let me keep going. Audrey, hey girl, hey. Oh yeah, y'all talking about the black screen. Auntie Belinda Brown, Grand Rising. Mom, shalom, shalom. Elijah, peace and blessings. Derek, shalom. Top of the day. Brandon Carter. Just me, shalom. Facebook user, Grand Rising. Hold on. Let me see. Kings and Queens coaching group. Shalom, shalom. Trina, hey girl, hey, happy Monday. And everybody else hanging out in the background. Happy Monday to you. All right, y'all, let's get started. Okay, so in Book of Osiris, page 129 at the top, chapter 3. All right, y'all. Osiris spake from the throne, saying, proclaim it in the east and west and north and south, there is a God in heaven. That which has transpired in Gal, go tell the false gods and false lords in Hada, adding, Osiris hath come. So when we was here the other day, in the last couple chapters, or the first 2 chapters, we saw that Osiris is now on the scene, and he's taking control of the false gods' domain. The false gods people, everybody has fled. They've abandoned them. The ones that were still there, they were laying prostrate. He caught a clue and was like, maybe I should humble myself too. And he down there, and so now it's carrying on. Osiris spake from the throne, saying, proclaim it in the east and west and north and south, there is a God in heaven. That which has transpired in Gal, go tell the false gods and false lords in Hada, adding, Osiris hath come. Messengers started forth for every quarter of the world, inspired by the impetuous utterances of the commanding God. And so, half breathless and in hastening speed, these young gods and young goddesses, the messengers, dropped in upon the lordly defamers of holiness and told the tale of the overturned Gal, where proud Utea fell. And they, in manner and custom, inspired the false rulers to imagine even a worse calamity, and that much had been concealed out of deference to Utea and other usurpers. Osiris called his council and appointed new places with new officers, having nothing in common with all past administrations of the gods of the earth and heaven. So far, these appointments were from his Etherian host, and moved by the fire of his own energy, quickly assumed their most honorable duties, some to build, some to survey and lay the course of streets and places of habitations, and yet others to remove the old hospitals and nurseries and make way for new ones, and for factories, and for all requisites for the millions of souls now scattered and lost, or in dire confusion, struggling in the outside darkness, whence rose a constant wail of fear and torment, strangely wild compared to the glorious light fast spreading from the rising pillars of fire about the throne of God. Osiris' hosts, 50 millions, attuned to harmony and precision, were proceeding fast with their labor. Not one but knew his part and played close to the text in every motion, were yet in number as nothing compared to the 1,000 millions scattered in the gloomy darkness, wailing beyond the walls. Here a road, a sire would speak, or with his hand command an ultivan to those hapless slaves. And as if his hosts, his thoughts had fashioned, his Etherian workmen rushed to make his will omnipotent. No loss of time or space to inquire how the matter should be done. For the heavens' trained workmen have learned the power of concentrated effort and the power of knowledge braced to a single point, by which the elements stoop to do their wills. It's kind of sound like what we was reading yesterday, as you master each level of the heavens. Right? Somebody asked a question yesterday that I missed. And I think it was like 2 people that came in yesterday that I missed. I think it was one when I said, shall there be another? Is there another? And there was actually another, but I completely missed it. It was towards the top. But I forget the name. I'm sorry. I wasn't ignoring y'all. I just didn't see it here until after we had ended, and I scrolled through the comments again. But yeah, this is like when it was talking about how before you can ascend to the next level within the heaven. The question had something to do is it was the level. It had to do with the levels and the heavens, because I think it was like a second level, and somebody was asking like, is this like is like the seventh level, like the second heaven? It was something like that, but it's not, because within each heaven are different levels. So there are three heavens, but within each heaven are different levels. So like, for example, so the first heaven would have 7 levels, the second heaven would have 7 levels, and the third heaven would have 7 levels. I forget how many is within each, but that's just an example. All right, son. Oh yeah, y'all gotta be at the warehouse at 7:30. Be on site at 9. Let's go. All right. No loss of time. No loss of time or space to inquire how the matter should be done. For heaven's trained workmen have learned the power of concentrated effort and the power of knowledge braced to a single point by which the elements stoop to do their wills. All right, love you. Drive safe. To learn this simple harmony for all to be as one. To learn the simple harmony for all to be as one, what countless millions rise up from the earth to be hurled back discordant and powerless before Jehovah's sons and daughters. Yea, and kings and queens and potentates, high strung and unwarranted conceit, cast down to beg beseechingly as a child. As a furious lion is tamed, worthless his giant power in the hands of man, whose strength by knowledge triumphs. I'm gonna read this whole sentence again. Verse 6. Yea, kings and queens and potentates, high strung and unwarranted conceit, cast down to beg beseechingly as a child. As a furious lion is tamed, worthless his giant power in the hands of man, whose strength by knowledge triumphs. So the Etherians from high heaven descend to humiliate first, and then to teach the false gods and false lords of Hada. Jehovah saith, what more, O man, have I put upon thee than to learn? That's amazing, right? He said, you got one job. Learn. That's it. One job. Jehovah hath said, hold on, not Jehovah hath, it just said Jehovah said. Jehovah saith, what more, O man, have I put upon thee than to learn, and strewn thy path with lessons rich in happiness, to learn the elements and master them. This it is to be a god or goddess, and wherein one is weak, let two or more unite, a simple thing, by which even the stars of heaven can be turned from their course. That's good. I don't know why I didn't highlight this the first time we read it through. Hold up. Let me read that again. Verse 7, page 130 at the top. Levon, blessings. Is it, Dawn? Okay, when I asked whose birthday it was, you said, well, you actually said who it was, right? I looked in my book because I saw it was some kind of holiday today, but it says Mexican Labor Day. Labor Day in Mexico, May Day. It's Mary Magdalene's birthday, Jesus' wife. Jehovah says, what more, O man, have I put upon thee than to learn, and strewn thy path with lessons rich in happiness, to learn the elements and master them, that it is to be a god or goddess. And wherein one man is weak, let two or more unite, a simple thing by which even the stars of heaven can be turned from their course. Jehovah said, have I not said the weakest king is he who hath the most soldiers, and the strongest nation where none are required? How then, let me read that again. Jehovah said, have I not said the weakest king is he who hath the most soldiers, and the strongest nation where none are required? That says a lot about that nation where you don't even need soldiers. Do you know how disciplined the nation's people would be to where you don't even need an army to protect you? Bro. Then that, greetings. Verse 8, page 130 at the top. O waspy. Jehovah saith, have I not said The weakest king is he who hath the most soldiers, and the strongest nation where none are required. How then may the false gods by evil deeds fortify their thrones? Lo, my Etherian hosts come unarmed, and by a breath blow away their mighty kingdoms. And so it was in Gal. Only one earth day had come and gone since Utel reigned over 100 million slaves who daily brought tribute up from earth to ornament his crown-like city, and now the dawn of another world stood supreme in the demolished kingdom. What greater pity, most pitiful sight than to see the former slaves still loyal to their deposed master, Utel, coming to him in his banishment, 50 million swearing terrible oaths of fidelity to him forever. For of such like the great spirit created man, to even wed himself to misery for zeal and ignorance, to prove a most foolish love. And but for Utel's guardians, his very slaves had smothered him in desperate effort to manifest fidelity. Then spoke Yester to him, saying, Raise thy voice against this unseemingly crowd, and be commander still, at least to save thyself. Remember how Jehovah giveth this lesson to mortals, to say to evil, away. For lo, to suffer first one and then another to fasten upon oneself is crime great as a debauched passion unchecked. Bid them be gone for love of self, which is thy gift from great Jehovah. Be thou thyself. It will be better them also. It will better them also. So remember, Utea had taken on Apollo's name, and he was telling everybody that he was Apollo. So he said, listen, go ahead, tell them to get away. Go ahead and tell the truth. Tell them you are not Apollo. It'll be better for you, and it'll be better for them, right? Then spake Yester to him, saying, Raise thy voice against this unseemly crowd, and be commander still, at least to save thyself. Because, they dogpiling him right now. He about to find himself in a knot. Then Yester spake to him, saying, Raise thy voice against this unseemly crowd, and be commander still, at least to save thyself. Remember how Jehovah giveth this lesson to mortals, to say to evil, away. For lo, to suffer first one, and then another to fasten upon oneself, is crime great as a debauched passion unchecked. Bid them be gone. For love of self, which is thy gift from great Jehovah, be thou thyself. It will better them also. Utel, struggling, said, Alas, fair angel, these were my slaves. The hardest blow of all is their acknowledged love. The fire of the throne of Osiris was tamed to this. For hundreds of years, I gave these creatures pangs and wretchedness, and now they give me love. Poor idiots. I cannot drive them hence. So you rather be dogpiled, right? Oh, that's insanity. And so sobbing, bowed Utel his head, for such sudden great truths turn all his judgment into darkness of his past deeds and wickedness, even whilst crowding close on every side, the 50 million kept up their ceaseless assurances of endless love. Nor was there any way to open flight from their ignorant jargon and foul breath. So when Yester saw how helplessly Utel had given up, she raised her hand, saying, What shall I do, O Jehovah? Whereat the light descended, and Jehovah spake through Yester, saying, Flesh of my flesh created I man. From mine own spirit gave I man a spirit also, and unto all men alike gave I all things in my worlds. But some men are not content with what I gave, but ask for more, even that they may have their fellows for subjects. To these I have given an answer to their prayers. Sound like the prodigal son. Give me my inheritance now, Father. You want it? Go ahead. You can have it. Take it all. And then you ready to give it back. He said, Nope, I ain't an Indian giver. You keep it. Fix it. What you screwed up, that's your this is your kingdom now. You are the captain. Whereat the light descended. What shall I do, O Jehovah? Whereat the light descended, and Jehovah spake through Yester, saying, Flesh of my flesh created I man. From my own spirit gave I man spirit also, and unto all men alike gave I all things in my worlds. But some men are not content with what I gave, but ask for more, even that they may have their fellows for subjects. To these I have given an answer to their prayers. Behold, thou then, O man, why seekest thou to put away today, even what a day since thou didst pray for? They are as good today as yesterday, right? So he's saying, why are you asking me now to take away what you asked me for yesterday? It was good yesterday. Why is it not good still today? Thou hast said, man can make himself whatsoever he will, so thy creator is worthless to thee. Love is the lightest of all burdens. If thou desirest not to carry their love, how didst thou carry their hate so long? Whew. You said hate is easier to carry than love?
Yes, because love you have to bypass hate.
So wait, hold on. I know you're about to leave out the door. Say that again.
Let me just quickly say this. Loving is a masculine. Anger is a default. Anger comes before love. Love, you accept all. You go past those emotions that you have dealt with before, and it comes to that.
So, okay, I can't disagree with that.
And plus, love requires a lot of restraint.
Professor. Yes, but do we come in the world that way?
No, but we are kind of.
So love is the default.
Okay, yes, love is the default.
So what happens from the time we enter this training ground to when love is no longer our default and now hate is our default? What has happened?
Yeah, of course, there's like a shift and there's a issue, huge issue.
So now we have to find out where the paths changed, right? To where now anger is our default. Because they shouldn't be. That is not how nobody comes in the world with hate as their default. That's proven.
I mean, now we can just, when it comes to that, we can honestly, I'm trying to not blame on this, but the issues that are going on could be a good reason of that.
Could be issues that let's not call them issues. Let's call them lessons in life that we have not yet learned.
Yes, and that's not clear to, oh, this is how you do it. This is the lesson within this. No, it's
just by default. This is too hard. I'm pissed.
And nobody's there to help. Yes, and the ones that do help didn't have nobody to help them.
But that's something everybody has to figure out, right?
Yeah.
Whether they got help or no help. I mean, because at some point down the road, help is not always going to be there. You're going to have to learn how to go deep within your shanana and move along. Yep, check that clock.
This is how I feel. It is way more hard now than it was back then.
Oh, because you get older and now more responsibility.
Not even that, it's more so due to the events that's been happening. It's harder for people to do things because you're under a constant stress, frustration, and it's going to bring anger and other problems.
But still, aren't the ones who are older, are they not in control of the events around them? Granted, there's a bigger dynamic that you can't control.
Yeah.
But can't you at least remove yourself from that? Even if it's a job that's stressing you out, can you not find another job?
You can, but some people find that to be too hard. In some cases, it is too hard. But
or is it that they don't want to push themselves and develop?
At the same time, not everybody has that same thickness of skin.
It's a lot of different variables at play.
So it's a neutral point. I can't really go on deeper. I can't really comment on it all the way.
But I just wanted to clarify this default mechanism. You said anger is the default. You said what you say? Say it again. You said love is
a master.
Yeah, you have to master love, and anger is the default. Yeah, but I mean I like that though. Although that kind of maybe
is not the only default. Default me saying default is like different emotions that are easier to do than love. Because love, you take it all in. Everything else, you take it for what it is.
Okay. I can't necessarily argue with that.
Like, let's say,
based on your life experiences and your equation.
Loving from a distance, that instant, it's a mastery, not much of a take it what it is feeling. Because that feeling now, a lot of people themselves really understand or never.
So give me okay.
Or never, they just don't know it.
So what about loving up close? Loving up. He said, y'all. He said loving from a distance. He said loving from a distance. That's harder than loving up close. Meaning you have to push
loving from a distance, like good example, loving from a distance. That whole issue, love from a distance. Still love y'all, but just stay over there. So, because personal peace.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Using hand signals and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peace I prioritize over anything else.
Okay, so like
loving from a distance when it comes to your significant other, that can be harder.
Right, because you're still in the same space.
Yeah, like that's a lot harder. Because one,
I
you're
get
over
it.
Here, your significant other's all over there.
But yet still in the same space.
Yeah.
That's good, Jeremiah. Okay. We have to finish this conversation. Yes, go. Because I'm gonna be like, why is you late? And you here talking to me. Okay, y'all. All right. I vote we let him have the final thought for each live. That's good what he was saying. So y'all, could y'all hear him? I think y'all could probably hear him in the background or whatever. Okay, so but that was good. That was I really wanted him to expound on that last thought or whatever. So he was using hand signals when he was talking about loving from afar. And so when he did like this, I'm assuming he was talking about our older son, Elijah, right? Because we love him, but the dynamic, not that there's strife or anything, but because his life dynamic is a little bit different now, and you got 3 kids, and every weekend, the two dynamics, I don't say that they clash, but we have gotten like our dynamic to a certain flow, right? And our noise is okay. Like we can handle our noise, like our children's noise, because they kind of they quiet now, they doing their own thing. But when the mini Murphs come over, the mini Murphs is the Josh, Josiah, but the mini Murphs is the grandbabies. They're younger, they're 6 and below. And so their dynamic is still loud all over the place. We want to write on walls, stick things in sockets. That is to come over here. It's like, oh my God, get them kids under control. They ain't that bad, but y'all, they just being babies. But it was like, okay, listen, son, you're gonna have to be looking a little bit faster. I know you ain't a problem here in the room, and the grandbaby's not a problem, but it changed the whole dynamic. When you clash our crazy with their crazy, it's like a nut house. So it was like, we'll help you look, we'll help you get your own space. That way, when y'all come over, we know that y'all gonna leave for the day, right? And so, yes, we want to see the grandbabies today. Bring them on over, but you go back home at the end of the day. Yes, we got the quietness back. But no, seriously, they're not bad at all. But y'all get what I'm saying. So he was doing like that. He said so. He was using that as an example for loving from afar, right? It keeps the peace all areas, but you're old enough now, you need your own space. But he also mentioned about spouses who love from afar that live in the same space. I was like, that's good, Jeremiah, because spouses tend sometimes to become distant, and that happens a lot of time when you're in the child rearing ages, and the children are sometimes it start when they're babies, right? Because the babies are attached to mom, and so dad sometimes digs himself into his work, and you lose that physical touch connection. Like seriously, not only are you losing like physical touch in terms of like intimacy, communication, but actually not touching one another is detrimental. It is detrimental to any relationship, right? So even, let me tell you something, a touch would do a million things. That's something we learned early on with one of the counselors that we had after a while, we booted him to the side, like, bro, some of our wisdom better than what you're giving us. But he did say one thing. When it comes to, like, when you're having a passionate, I ain't gonna say argument, maybe a disagreement or something, try to approach it in a different way. Instead of coming just right out your face and listen, let me tell you something. Don't come out like that, right? Just kind of take a couple seconds, rephrase it. Be like, babe, I really love you. You know what? You are the most amazing person in this world, right? You got to lower the defenses a little bit, especially when it's something tight you need to talk about. Just lower the defenses a little bit. Think about it before you present the conversation. You're just going to have to rephrase it. And adding on top of that, add the element of touch, like hold their hand, put your hand on the shoulder or something. Even when you're arguing, right? Somebody got to be the bigger person. Somebody just reach out and touch the other, right? Or just grab them by the hand, hug them from behind. My husband was good about it because at the time I was like, I ain't practicing this crap. I'm sick of this. And he'll come up behind me, and I'll just come to the kitchen. I'll come wash dishes or something, and he'll come up behind me and just hold me. I'm like, get off me. Go on. Nope, move. And he'll just hold me. I'm just like, listen. But the raging fire on the inside of me would be put out ever so slightly, right? And him trying to kiss me on my neck and stuff, and he'll be like, I'm sorry. And it'll just kind of wash them flames away, So there is a lot. Physical touch can be sometimes the saving element of relationships, right? And I ain't even talking about the sexual part of it, right? That kind of adds to it. But yeah, some couples, they have this distance while they're close, and sometimes they don't know how to reel one another back in, even when you're right there in your face. So that was good. So yeah, I don't know. I vote to let him have the final thoughts each live. He's 19 years old and he's still, he's growing, but he observes a lot, and he's had a long standing relationship, but it's like teenage relationship. But still, he learned something from there, right? And going into another relationship, just looking at elements and whatnot, trying to get itself into, and just a lot of different things, right? So yeah, I vote yes to BC. Okay, let me read this again. Verse 15, top of page 131. We're in the book of Osiris, son of Jehovah. Hold on, let me just go back to 14. I'm gonna go to 14. She said, what shall I do, O Jehovah? Whereat the light descended, and Jehovah spake through Yester, saying, flesh of my flesh created I man, my own spirit gave I man a spirit also, and unto all men alike gave I all things in my worlds. But some men are not content with what I give, but ask for more, even that they may have their own fellows for subjects. To these I have given an answer to their prayers. Behold, thou then, O man, why seekest thou to put away today, even what a day since thou didst pray for? They are as good today as yesterday. Thou hast said, man can make himself whatsoever he will, so thy creator is worthless to thee. Love is the lightest of all burdens. If thou desirest not to carry their love, how didst thou carry their hate for so long? He said, hate is heavy. He said, love is the lightest of all. If you can't even carry love, how did you carry hate for so long? I'm just like, mind blown. Class is over. Let's go fix that. How did you carry hate for so long? And love is the lightest of all burdens. Boy, hold on. Where's my highlighter? Nevertheless, if thou desirest, thou canst put them away. They are thine, do as thou wilt. Utea said, how can I put them away? I cannot reason with 50 millions. Nay, before I persuaded a score, the first ones so ignorant Utea said, how can I put them away? I cannot reason with 50 millions. Nay, before I persuaded a score, the first ones so ignorant would forget what I said. Tell me then, thou goddess, what shall I do to free myself from this great multitude? Yes, I said, call not on me, but on thy creator, and not to be freed for thy own good, but for wisdom to do some good unto them whomever thou hast long been a remorseless tyrant. Oh boy. Yester said, call not on me, but on thy creator, and not to be freed from for thine own good, but for wisdom to do some good unto them over whom thou hast long been a remorseless tyrant. These are a small curse to thee compared to thine own judgment, for from thyself thou can never flee. Thou shalt undo thy selfish deeds which thou hast practiced so long. So turn thou at once and make oath to him who made thee, that from this time forth thou wilt do good unto others with all thy wisdom and strength. Utea said, alas, thy words are wise and holy, but I have no faith. I have no faith. Yester said, say not this. Thy words are another bondage to thy soul. To say I have no faith is to imprison thyself away from all light. Come, haste, or lo, I leave thee. For if thou profess not faith, why shall I longer labor with thee? Say thou, I have faith in thee, O Jehovah. I will raise up these I have cast down. Utel wept and thus answered, oh, that I had faith like unto thee. But for long years I taught myself that prayer to Jehovah was not required. But for long years I taught myself that prayer to Jehovah was not required of one so great and as strong as I. Alas, I smothered out the fire, and amidst his sobs, Utia fell prostrate at Yester's feet. Quickly now, she raised her slender hand toward high heaven, saying, O Jehovah, by thy power vested in me, I here encircle this, thy prostrate child, with adamantine light. Down from above there came phosphorescent flames of light, and Yester drew a circle round about, at which the multitude stood back and looked on in wonder and fear. But the surging mass beyond pressed forward, shouting, Utea, Utea. Little by little, Yester extended the light, and her assistants put up a structure to guard the place, so that in a little while it was like a miniature throne in heaven. Yester then assumed the power, and so took command, placing helpless Utia by her side. Meanwhile, her assistants sped through the multitude, making roadways and selecting out the most intelligent of the former slaves and making them guards of them. Yester said to Utea, now will I give thee a lesson in righteousness, for thou shalt educate and develop all this thy host, thy former slaves, to thine own level. Erst thou raise thyself one jot or tittle. Think not it is easy to assume to be a god or lord or even a mortal king. They that make servants of others must also raise them up to be angels of light. Boom. I got it underlined, but I'm going to highlight it. This whole verse. So he said, before you can raise any higher, Utea, all that you have done, you need to undo and raise all of them up to your level, right? Make sure they're just as wise as you. Teach them everything you know. And when everybody's on the same level, we'll raise y'all up to the next level together. No one is higher than the next, right? This is good. All right, babe. Love you. Yester said to Utea, now will I give thee a lesson in righteousness, for thou shalt educate and develop all this thy host, thy former slaves, to thine own level. Erst thou raise thyself one jot or tittle. Think not it is easy to assume to be a god or lord or even a mortal king. They that make servants of others must also raise them up to be angels of light. Heaven is just as well as bountiful. To whom Jehovah hath given bountifully, it is commanded he shall give bountifully. For hundreds of years thou hast had service of these hapless creatures, so shalt thou serve them by making them intelligent men and women. I need another highlighter for that. This is good. And this look, and it's also good sound business advice. Yea, yea, to the lowest of them are thine own equals, of whom thou canst be proud, and say before the Father, behold, my sister. Behold, my brother. Oh my gosh. Like this hits me deep down in my shanana. Because I literally just had a conversation with my brother and my sister about our business and some things that needs to be adjusted. OMG. But I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. Oh wow. I gotta go back. I'm gonna read this over for me, y'all. Listen. Verse 22. Yes, said to Utea, now will I give thee a lesson in righteousness, for thou shalt educate and develop all this host, thy former slaves, to thine own level, erst thou raise thyself one jot or tittle. Think not it is easy to assume to be a god or lord, or even a mortal king. They that make servants of others must also raise them up to be angels of light. Heaven is just as well as bountiful. To whom Jehovah hath given bountifully, it is commanded he shall give bountifully. For hundreds of years thou hast had the service of these hapless creatures. So shalt thou now serve them by making them intelligent men and women. Yea, till the lowest of them are thine own equals, of whom thou canst be proud, and say before the Father, behold, my sister, behold, my brother, thou, Utea, shall not be free. Oof. What Dana say is tight, but it's right. Oh my gosh. Utea said, I perceive thy words are from the all highest. This is justice. I perceive now that whilst I rated myself supreme judge of right and wrong, I judge with partiality to myself. Yea, without an all highest, I perceive there can be no justice in heaven or earth. O thou, all light, O thou, all light, how can I approach thee? I have been feeding myself with an endless poison. My darkness was my fortress. Teach me the way, O thou angel of light. Whatsoever Jehovah's will, that will I do. From this time onward, with all my wisdom and strength. So Yesta restored order and divided the multitude into many parts, and sent officers among them to select and assort them, so that as soon as Osiris should decree asylums and schools for them, they could be taken to them. Oof, boy, that's the end of chapter 3. That chapter was probably just for me today. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. Let's hop on over here to the Holy Megillah, right? That was good, y'all. All right, we at 50 minutes. OMG. And it's Monday. Okay. So we're going to finish reading this. We really don't have that much. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish the book of Enoch. We're on page 208, and we paused at the end of verse 150. So let's just start with 151, right? Okay. And I witnessed the activation of the plan. I saw the Zimzum of Jah and Jah-La. I saw the emanation of Jah-Day from Jah. I saw the emanation of Jah-Na from Jah-La. I saw the creation of the mother ovum. I saw the ascension of Jah-Jah to heaven most high, which is outside of the mother ovum. I saw the birth of Etz Chaim, the tree of life. I saw the golden ladder of countless rungs, which is the center branch of the tree of life, which branch connects to every being with heaven most high and Jah-Jah. And so just a quick recap, Enoch is about to be Christed, right? He's unlocked all the seals within himself, and now he's unlocking the seals of the group ovum that he's a part of, right? And so he's literally going through the same process Abdiel went through to before when he became a Christed one, right? You can see all things from a higher perspective, and you can begin to operate and really help others. Verse 158. I saw that every rung is held in place by the two poles of the ladder, Jade, the word of Jah, and Jana, the breath of Jala, which are the two that are one, and the one that is two, God and Goddess eminent, directly emanated, first son and first daughter of Jah. I saw their dance and the countless worlds and beings that came forth from that dance, yea, and the countless worlds and beings that will continue to come forth from that dance. And I saw that many beings within the great freedom made unwise choices and experienced great pain, creating hell realms within and without. And I saw countless worlds and souls over fathomless duration fall down the ladder into foul pits of their own making. You tell what we just reading on Wasby. And I saw that always in every foul pit, the Lord Christ Jade and the Lady Christ Jana intervene as the hands of mercy. So we saw Yester intervening, right? And she said, "Oh Jehovah, what are we gonna do? This man, he's the most pitiful sight I've seen." Right? He said he don't even have faith no more. Right? And so she said, "Listen, bro, don't say you don't have faith, because if you don't have faith, then I gotta go. I can't even help you." Right? So she's intervening. Right? Listen, let me go back to verse 160. And I saw that many beings within the great freedom made unwise choices and experienced great pain, creating hell realms within and without. And I saw countless worlds and souls over fathomless duration fall down the ladder into foul pits of their own making. And I saw that always in every foul pit, the Lord Christ Jade and Lady Christ Jana intervene as hands of mercy. But I saw that this intervention must be according to the laws of intervention, according to the great freedom. And I saw that an evil tyrant called Satan had come forth, and that Satan had an army of servants called demons, and that Satan did intervene in many worlds in direct opposition to the love and wisdom of God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent. And I saw that this opposition was possible within the great freedom, for within that freedom is the freedom to choose evil. And I saw that the worlds and souls in need of the hands of mercy are countless. And I saw that Jade and Jana, our Lord Christ and Lady Christ, ever since the beginning of their dance, have sent forth the great invitation, which is the invitation to join them in their work of messianic intervention, which is to become hands of mercy. And I saw that only those who have ears to hear can hear the great call. That is the great invitation to join the Christ family, which is the body of Christ. It gives a whole different understanding to the body of Christ. I can get with this one. Listen, let me go back. Verse 168, we're on page 209 in the Holy Megillah. And I saw that only those who have ears to hear can hear the great call. That is the great invitation to join the Christ family, which is the body of Christ. Behold, I knew that my hearing of the question, who will go, while in meditation in the center of the garden before I crossed the rainbow bridge, was my hearing of the great invitation. Yea, and I knew that my response, I will serve, was my acceptance of the invitation. Lo, I knew that my work would be on behalf of this new world that had suffered satanic attack at its very inception. Behold, I saw within myself the coming of Abraham and Sarah to plant the tree of life in this world. I saw Lucifer attempt to prevent that planting. I saw the blessed life in paradise of Adam and Eve before their fall. I saw their fall into the killing and eating of animals when they obeyed the voice of Lucifer rather than the voice of Elohim within. I saw that now the garden was polluted. Satanic seed was mixed with God's seed. Now there were two spirals planted in this garden, the upward spiral into the heavenly realms of light and bliss, and the downward spiral into hellish realms of darkness and pain. Behold, the downward spiral always exists as a possibility. But now on this world, as in many other worlds, the downward spiral was an actuality. And lo, at the moment the downward spiral was made manifest, many thousands of demonic entities of various types flocked to this world, some with bodies, some disembodied. Some of the disembodied were called pain suckers, for they feed on the emotional pain of other beings. And all pain suckers are of the family called parasites. The most dangerous of the suckers are those called pain farmers, for they plant seeds of discord in order to increase their harvest of pain. Yea, they teach the art of weapon making and encourage warfare and 1,000 other evil things. And they do this by whispering in the mind of not only their willing servants, but even their unsuspecting hosts. For the unsuspecting host thinks the demonic suggestion whispered in his mind is his own idea. And I perceived how demons, listen to this. And I perceived how the demons were able to enter the bodies of their unsuspecting hosts. Although the laws of nature work against demonic possession, for no entity should be able to enter the Beitza Ahur, ovum of light, of another without permission. The demons found that they could slow the vibration of and thereby weaken the Magen Ha-or, or the shield of light of creatures, by getting them to eat flesh. Yea, the demons found that they could pierce the light shield of creatures, or our ovums, or our auras, right? They pierce the lights of our chakra system, our energy, them swirling vortexes all through our body. They learned to penetrate it by teaching man to kill and eat flesh, pork chops, ham sandwiches, chewing on the backs of animals. Yea, the demons found that they could pierce the light shield of creatures who fell from the fleshless diet to a diet of flesh. And once they entered the ovum, and once they entered the light ovum, behold, they could enter the physical body of the unsuspecting host. And by entering the body of a host, lo, the demons gained two things. One, that they may now whisper in the mind of their host. Two, that they may experience vicarious thrills through the sense organs of their host. And I would like to redirect you to Mrs. Susan B. Martinez's book that we just finished reading a couple weeks ago before we wait, did we finish reading this? No. We finished reading this, then we went into the Seeing Gospel of Peace, then we started here. Well, right before we started reading the Seeing Gospel of Peace, we took some weeks and we went through this, and she literally begins to break down a lot of this stuff. Although there is a point in here where she mentioned diet, but she didn't really get into the details of the flesh eating and stuff. But she does bring it up. This is probably one of the best discourses on spiritual entities and how we operate and how they operate and how they invade us in, without, around, all of this. Y'all have got to get a copy of this, right? It'll take you up, I'm going to say, at least 7 spiritual levels, like seriously, because we were ignorant to a whole lot of things before we read this, like spiritual things, like being spooked out by everything, blaming it on the devil, right? Or thinking everything is supernatural or whatever. But this, in conjunction with Owaspi, Holy Megillah, Essene Gospel of Peace, like all of these, just keep going through the tools and all the stuff that we have available to us. I'm telling you, spiritual growth, the journey becomes a lot more exciting. Now you can recognize things along the path, right? Okay, let's go back. Let me go back to verse 187. It would start at 187. Yea, the demons found that they could pierce the light shield of creatures who fell from the fleshless diet to a diet of flesh. And once they entered the light ovum, behold, they could enter the physical bodies of the unsuspecting host. And by entering the body of a host, lo, the demons gain two things. One, they may now whisper in the mind of their host. And two, They may experience vicarious thrills through the sense organs of their host, right? People, when they come in, like, and she goes through some of it, we can see it. They are put into the sunken place. The native spirit is put into the sunken place, and now this entity has invaded your space. They driving your body around. Look, it ain't you, it ain't Jesus, or it might be Jesus. You know, I'm Jesus. Give me the wheel. Let's go. And driving your body around. Now you sitting in the interrogation room and you looking at yourself on camera. Yeah, that's me, but I don't remember any of that. Yes, you were in a sunken place while this entity drove your body. You done went on a killing spree. You done went robbing, all of these things. And you, listen, they drove your car around and you caught all the tickets. Now when it's time to pay the piper or you get caught, all right, homie, I'm good. Thanks for the ride. You can have a seat back. Like, and now you back behind the wheel. You impounded. Like, wait, what just happened? You coming to, you done blacked out. I'm just like, whoo, boy, this is more real than what people believe. Yahweh, shalom, shalom. Listen. Verse 189. And by entering the body of a host, lo, the demons gain two things. One, they may now whisper into the mind of their host. Two, they may experience vicarious thrills through the sense organs of their host. I also perceived the remedy for this great evil. Listen. We talk about it, but they say it a different way here. But listen. I also perceive the remedy for this great evil, a return to the fleshless diet, right? We talk about how when we get off of meat, as you at least go 30 days, right? Some people can go cold turkey. Some people just got to wean themselves off, but do it. Okay, I'm going to do a no meat Monday, right? Then, okay, no meat Monday, no meat Friday. We're going to try it. Like, build yourself up if you need to. Just wean yourself off of it, right? Then go for 30 days. Right. Then next, try and go for 40 days. Right. Don't jump into the 60 unless you can and you ready. You know, then go 60, then go 90. And pay attention to the difference that happens with your body. Like, test it out. You ain't got to do it because other people say it so, but just test it. That's why you should do it in shorter increments. Go for like 7 days. Right. Don't put any flesh foods in your body. Then when you go back to it, you're going to feel the difference almost immediately. Like, oh, man, like the itis set in and you get groggy and you feel different things. People that have a lot of medical issues going on, you will see some of those things start dissipating. And I'm not giving you medical advice, right? Clearly, because we got the medical disclaimer. They might get me medical misinformation, but I'm saying test it, right? I'm telling you my experience that I had, because I was having a lot of issues. When I was pregnant with Josh, who was now 12 years old, I had some women issues going on with me. And when I went, I just went like cold turkey vegan, like all flesh food, because I was pregnant too. It was crazy. But I realized not only did it begin to handle my migraines and stuff, because I had migraines forever. Matter of fact, my disability from the military is because of the migraines, right? But even that began to clear up. Some other things like womanly issues that I'm like, what in the world? I'm only like 32 years old. You know, I'm like, what is happening to my body? All those things began to clear up. I'm like, wait a minute, it's something to this. And then when I got pregnant with Josiah, I backslid and I started eating some fried fish with hot sauce because I was craving it. I realized almost immediately it wreaked havoc on my body because I had been, almost 2 years with eating no meat. Boy, it tore me up. And I'm like, oh no, we is not supposed to be eating meat, right? So that was like the last time when I was pregnant with Josiah. He'll be 11 this year, right? So it's been that long since I put any flesh meat in my mouth. Now it's just junk food, vegan stuff. That's why my extra weight lingering around, right? Because I don't know how to say no to the chocolate chip cookies and the Reese's cups and all this extra peanut. Look, I'm making smoothies, but Pam, you can't be putting 3 scoops of peanut butter in your smoothie, right? And adding the chocolate. I switched from the Nestle Quick. I'm gonna go healthy. Let me get the cacao powder. I'm using cacao powder, all healthy stuff, but all these scoops of peanut butter. Reese's cups. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I got a whole nother thing I got to get under control, right? Look, the sugar is just as bad as the meat. Tabitha, refraining from meat is one thing, but what about that's what I'm talking about, the sugar demon, right? Sugar demon. I'm working to rid myself of that fella, right? And listen, alcoholics, they ain't addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to sugar, right? So, I'm about to say something, but I ain't gonna say that. I know a couple people that like to take a drink or two. Let's just say that, and I'm like, bro, you killing your body with the alcohol, and I'm doing the same thing. All this chocolate chip cookies and stuff, like the pot trying to call the kettle black, right? And then I realized not too long, I was like, wait a minute, we both got the same problem. We both addicted to sugar, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And it is hard. It's hard sometimes. And I be talking to myself, listen, no, Pam, no sweets for 30 days. And I be doing good. If you need to have something sweet, just go juice you something, get that sweetness. And I can do it, but my mind be talking to me. And then I find myself in places where, oh yes, we're bringing freshly baked chocolate chip cookies right from grandma's kitchen today. And I can't get out of this place. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, wait, no. Y'all go ahead. Girl, sit right down your desk. I'm like, the devil is a liar. Oh, Satan, get behind me. Satan, get behind me. Oh. I'm gonna start this tomorrow. And then I'm like the Cookie Monster. Y'all, my grandbabies call me Cookie. Look, is there like a Alcoholics Anonymous for people addicted to chocolate chip cookies, cakes, and honey buns and Twinkies? Oh my gosh, that's what I need to be. And they probably need to be right next door to Alcoholics Anonymous because we both addicted to sugar. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all, let me finish this. I gotta go. We gotta get out. I got a couple things I gotta do outside the house today. All right, hold on. Let me go back. Verse 191. I also perceive the remedy for this great evil, a return to the fleshless diet. For once a being rejects the flesh diet of the demons are forced to flee, right? When you fast, it does the same thing. Just do it in increments, whether you fasting from the meat, from the cookies, cakes, and sweets, right? Or you just, fasting. That's what it is. It's fasting. For once a being rejects the flesh diet, the demons are forced to flee. Yea, the demons are forced to flee because, according to the law, according to Jah law, they cannot be within the light ovum of any creature who eats not the flesh of other creatures. The eggs or milk of other creatures may be eaten. Hold on, excuse me, I need a sip of water. Okay. The eggs or milk of other creatures may be eaten without fear of demonic possession, and the vegetables, grains, and fruits of nature, but not the flesh of another creature. And for me, for my personal life, if I do drink any milk, it's like an almond milk or oat milk. I just choose to stay away from all animal products and animal byproducts. I don't know, just with my body, it's just even with the cheese now, and I love me some cheese, right? Even like that the last time, like when I had got sick and I ate a slice of pizza a couple months back, I'm just like, yep, I'm done. I don't even sprinkle it on my salads. I use the plant-based cheese, and I don't even really need it for real. It's just getting my mind wrapped around not having dairy, right? Versus the cookies, then it's like the cheese, But my body fares a lot better without it at all. Look, y'all spelled her last name wrong. It's Kitty Licking. Take the G off. It's like a slang, like licking. Take the G off. Like chilling. You don't put the G on. Not chilling. It's not licking. It's licking. Kitty Licking. If anybody don't know who Kitty Licking is, that's my blind cat. Literally, we had a blind. How do cats become blind? Got a blind. That was the name. That's what I don't even know why. I don't even know. You know what? I guess because she was always, we kids, young, we just figure out any kind of name. I guess because she was always like licking her paw. So we called her Kitty Licking. Dumb. But in our mind, it was an awesome name for a kitten. Yeah, so Kitty Licking. It's my blind cat. I got the craziest stories in life, y'all. All right, hold on, let me finish this so everybody can go to work. I got to get out of here too. Hold up. Verse 194, the eggs or milk of other creatures may be eaten without fear of demonic possession, yea, and the vegetables, grains, and fruits of nature, but not the flesh of another creature. And I perceive that on many worlds the pain farmers had subverted the fleshless diets of creatures, and thereby planted seeds of pain that grew into many crops. And the pain farmers cultivate their soil before planting. Excuse me, and they add manure to their fields and they water their crops. And Satan is the master of the pain farmers, and Lucifer is one of his many servants. Lo, the Mahaze Gedola, the great revelation, was in two parts. The first part, which was just described, is the revelation of all that has been. For it revealed to me all things that have made needful. For it revealed to me all the things that have made needful the coming into this world of the Nazarene priesthood, the hands of mercy of Lord Christ Jade and Lady Christ Jana. The second part of the Mazeh Gedola was the messianic revelation of the Lamb and the Dove, and that was the revealing of the purposes and practices of the Nazarene Church of the Essene Way, which is the revelation of the Bahir Shabbatayim and my own ministry. For behold, I saw what had befallen Abdiel and Isha, that they were slain by Cain, and that they had ascended to become the chief cherubim of the tree of life of our world. After my receiving of the Mazeh Gedola at the fifth heaven, behold, the 7 golden orbs had floated above the right hand of Jannah, now formed a spiral circle above my head. And I ascended and entered the first orb, seeing and knowing the things thereof, then passed similarly through the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, each orb being as if it were a doorway into a heaven. And whether I remained a few minutes or many years within each heaven cannot be said. For behold, time therein was not like earth time. Lo, I, Enoch, have described the primary purposes of the cherubim who reside in the first 5 heavens. And this definitely I'm gonna say probably looks like it lines. I'm thinking about the book of Enoch and what I learned from that section of Enoch in the legends of the Jews. And every time he would go away, how it would be longer and longer. And it actually, the book of Enoch gives you information, but there's a lot of information in the legends of the Jews. Some of the different things that happen. Yeah, it gives more detail, and I'll probably put that. Hold on, put that. So just in case y'all haven't read it, link LOJ Enoch, so y'all can see. But apparently this was the time where all of this was happening, or whatever, or we're talking about the story. Lo, I, Enoch, have described. Hold on, let me go back. Verse 208. And whether I remained a few minutes or many years within each heaven cannot be said. For behold, time therein was not like earth time. Lo, I, Enoch, have described the primary purposes of the cherubim who reside in the first 5 heavens. As I have taught, the primary purpose of those, as I have taught, the primary purpose of those of the first heaven is the attainment of Sekel Neeman, which is faithful consciousness. The primary purpose of the second heaven is the attainment of Sekel Tahor, which is pure consciousness. The primary purpose of the third heaven is the attainment of Sekel Ha Ratzon, the consciousness of will, as angels of prayer. Primary purposes. Hold on. Third heaven. The primary purpose of those of the fourth heaven is the attainment of progressively higher degrees of Sekel Mas here, which is radiant consciousness. Their work is to share love by being love. Yea, so much love fills their hearts that it shines outward like rays from the sun. All those of the fourth heaven, like those of lower heavens, have attained some degree of Sekel Mas here. Those who ascend from the fourth heaven unto the fifth are those who attain the highest degree of Sekel Mas here, which is Sekel Nitchi. Sekel Nitchi means enduring consciousness and is the attainment of the body that cannot die. Those who attain Sekel Nitchi ascend the fifth heaven, where they receive Mahaze Gedola, the great revelation. And this is to prepare them to receive from Elohim a sacred mission, a special work. For the fifth heaven is such that whatever work is to be done by a being is clear to that being. Like, I know I say this a lot. I probably bring up this dude a lot, never even met him in my life. But as I read through this, somebody that I can see this has worked in their lives clearly is Yaki, right? Master Herbalist. Like, because I've watched Yaki for a while from the time he was still doing a lot of videos with Malachi, right? And so I'm like, man, when I started watching, I'm like, these dudes are smart, right? I'm like, they really study. But it was like, I began to see like a change, right? Like this progressive change that you can even see and track through his videos as he developed. And it's like his understanding of the whole medical industry and the holistic industry and how to restore the body and what has come out of that. It is mind-blowing to me. I'm just like, bro, I got to get on my game, right? I need to like tap in, and I'm still on the road, but I don't think I've tapped in to like my purpose to where it's like boom, like people can like look and be like, yo, hands down, she got that. That's what she was created for, right? I'm still in I understand teaching is in it and all that stuff, but I'm still developing this. A lot of things really unclear to me, right? But listen, this is where I strive to get to this level so it can be really clear. Right here, verse 219. Those who attain Sekel Nitchi ascend the fifth heaven, where they receive the Mahaze Gedola, the great revelation. And this is to prepare them to receive a sacred mission, a special work. For the fifth heaven is such that whatever work is to be done by a being is clear to that being. For Elohim designed the holy chamber that is called the fifth heaven to be of a geometry that induces the realization of one's sacred mission. Where is my yellow highlighter? Listen, this is amazing. Whew. Let me read that again. For the fifth, and literally, we almost done, y'all. We almost done. For the fifth heaven is such that whatever work is to be done by a being is clear to that being. For Elohim designed the holy chamber that is called the fifth heaven to be of a geometry that induces the realization of one's sacred mission. Yea, the fifth heaven is not a world wherein beings, hold on. Yea, the fifth heaven is not a world wherein beings reside for long duration as in other worlds, but a sacred realm designed to induce realization of one's next holy work. Lo, having ascended to the fifth heaven and having received a holy mission thereat, many will return again and again, completing one mission and receiving another. And each time a sacred mission to return to a lower world is accepted at the fifth heaven, the cherubims are first elevated to the sixth and seventh heaven, then descend to perform their work. The sixth and seventh heavens will now be described. At the sixth heaven, the cherubim prepare for the sacred work received in the fifth heaven. The sixth heaven is not a world wherein cherubim live for long duration. Rather, this world is a great temple of learning wherein one may experience Sekel, Sod, Ha, Palu, Ha, Rakimino, Kalum. Let me spell this. Sekel, Sekhel. Next word, Sod or Sod, Sod. Next word is Ha Palat, Hapaulot. Ha Rukum Neo, Haruchniot, Kalum, Kulam. Okay. Verse 229. Let's go to 228. The sixth heaven is not a world wherein cherubim live for long duration. Rather, this world is a great temple of learning wherein one may experience Sekel, Sod, Ha Palut, Ha Rakino Kalum, which is the consciousness of the mystery of all spiritual activities. Yea, this heaven is a storehouse of knowledge available only to them who have attained Sekel Nitshi and then in the fifth heaven accepted a holy mission. Kind of like what people do when they go to look at the Akashic records, right? But I think this is a little bit higher than that. I mean, well, I mean, it could, I'm thinking about that now. It could be the same thing. Well, I think it's higher. I just thought about something. Yeah, I think it's higher. Okay. Yea, this heaven is a storehouse of knowledge available only to them who have attained Sekel Nitshi and then in the fifth heaven accepted a holy mission. Having ascended unto the sixth heaven, one need not stay and study many months or years therein, for behold, whatever wisdom is needed to perform one's work will be quickly received through one's sixth sephira upon entering the sixth heaven. Like, that is going to blaze of fire, that third eye chakra, right? Listen, that's how we can get like, oh my God, that makes sense. That's how we can get downloads and revelations can you can immediately understand it when you go through some people call it shadow work, right? Work on yourself, cleaning up your chakras or dealing with your stuff in life and literally, look. Yea, this heaven is a storehouse of knowledge available only to them who have attained Sekel Nitshi and then in the fifth heaven accepted a holy mission. Having ascended unto the sixth heaven, one need not stay and study many months or years, for behold, whatever wisdom is needed to perform one's work will be quickly received through one's sixth sephira upon entering the sixth heaven. Yea, and within the sixth sephira, that wisdom will be stored, ready to be accessed when needed. Having received and stored the requisite knowledge, one ascends unto the seventh heaven. The seventh heaven, a temple of light hidden within the sun, is where the highest spiritual rituals of the cherubim of this chain of worlds are performed. Many cherubim reside therein, and many others visit. And some who now visit will one day reside within the temple of light. For behold, they who reside therein are preparing to ascend to heavenly worlds beyond the seven heavens of our sun. Well, that would be in Ethera, in Owaspi, that would be considered Ethera when you graduate from the earth and her heavens here, of which the sun is within our heavens. Okay. Verse 235. Many cherubim reside therein, and many others visit. And some who now visit will one day reside within the temple of light. For behold, they who reside therein are preparing to ascend to heavenly worlds beyond the seven heavens of our sun. For the temple of light is not the only highest heaven of this chain of worlds, but is the doorway that leads beyond this chain of worlds unto the next chain. And the chains of worlds, each of seven heavens, are infinite. Behold, in our chain of seven heavens, they who reside in the seventh heaven are they who have attained to the highest degree of Sekel Mufla, which is mystical consciousness. The seventh heaven of our chain of worlds is also called Bet Shefa, which means house of influx. I wish I would have saw that and I would have put that in the thumbnail or something. House of influx. I'm Michael. I'm gonna change. Well, I can't change it on Facebook a couple places, but I can definitely change it on YouTube. Let's see. The seventh heaven of our chain of worlds is also called Bet Shefa, which means house of influx. For lo, it is the seventh Sephirah of our chain of worlds, receiving the influx of divine light, which is the Nahara of the river of light, channeling it to the seventh Sephirah of every being within our chain of worlds. Yea, they who reside in the seventh heaven participate in this ministry of channeling divine light by praising Yahweh, whereby they attain Sekel Shefa Niv Dal, which is transcendental influx consciousness. In Owasbi, that is called the line of light. I just thought about this. Listen, boy. Listen, think about it. The line of light. Think about how JBN was even able to pen or type out Owaspi connected to the line of light, transcendental influx, consciousness. Listen, I'm ready. Verse 243, yea, they who reside in the seventh heaven participate in this ministry of channeling divine light by praising Yahweh, whereby they attain Sekel Shefa Nivdal, which is transcendental influx consciousness. They who visit the seventh heaven but do not yet reside thereat may participate in certain high rituals held in the temple of light, such as initiation as a Christ and consecration to a mission. But only they who have attained Sekel Nishchi and wear the body that cannot die may reside in the temple of light. And that's the end of chapter 6. But chapter 7, I'm going to go ahead and read because it's literally only 6 verses. And I know we run a little bit over the time. Today we're at 1 hour 30 minutes, but it's 6 verses left. So let me go ahead and read it and we'll be done with the book of Enoch. Okay. Chapter 7, we're on page 215, and it's entitled The Initiation of Enoch as a Christ. I, Enoch, wearing the body that cannot die, at the invitation of Lady Jannah, did visit the seventh heaven. Like, you got on your graduation cap and gown, bro. How do we know? Bro, he got on the body that can't die, my G. Let's go, Enoch, right? We all need to be prepared to put on the body that cannot die. Look. I, Enoch, wearing the body that cannot die, at the invitation of Lady Jannah, did visit the seventh heaven. Yea, within the temple of light, I was initiated as a Christ Messiah and was consecrated to a holy work. Behold, my initiation and consecration was by the hands of both the Lord and Lady, for the Lamb who had bidden me to follow the dove was again at her side, and the words and rituals may not herein be repeated. Behold, I return by the rainbow bridge to my dense body on earth, which still sat upon the seventh prayer stone in the circle of 7 trees. With great reverence, I entered that humble body, for I knew it to be the instrument by which I would minister unto the children of this world until my ascension to El Kush. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I love this book of Enoch, right? And that is the end. That is the end. It ended so soon. All right, beautiful people. So that is it for today. We actually begin reading the book of Hanukkah tomorrow, which is the adopted daughter of Enoch, right? So daddy was fire. Let's see how much fire his daughter is, right? And it's really short. It's what? Sis only get 2 chapters. It's only 2 chapters. We might start in her story tomorrow. No, we probably won't. We probably won't. And then again, we might. I don't know. Depending on how fast I read 1 chapter from a WASP tomorrow. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Let's go ahead and get out of here. It is Monday, May the 1st, 2023, day 33 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets of the 4-year consecutive day count. It is day 1412. In the book of in the WASP, we read chapter 3 in Osiris. Darn it. The book of Osiris. I'll put Osiris here. Fill me off. In the book of Osiris, son of Jehovah, it was chapter 3. It started on page 129, and I didn't put the ending page there. But then when we got done with that chapter, we came over here to the secret Nazarite scroll, officially named Holy Megillah, the Nazarene Bible of the Essene Way. And we finished reading the book of Enoch, which began on page 208, and we read that all the way to the end, to page 215. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed the reading today. It was amazing, right? I know y'all got to get here and get to work. Vanette probably already on her treadmill walking. She said, "Girl, I just take my phone along with me and get my workout started." All right, y'all. But that's it for today. Zachariah, who said, "I read in other books of the Essenes to get initiated, they watch you 3 years and 9 years. Hold on. Wait. They watch you 3 years and 9 years before getting taught the mysteries. Within those 3 years, no mix." I remember reading over something like that. But I also had one of these other little books that I said we was gonna read. That I showed y'all with the Kabbalah, by Manly Hall. He goes in there and he talks about some of these initiation practices whereby they were doing some of these things, and they do, right? Because you need to prove to yourself, but they need to make sure that you are also somebody disciplined that's you're gonna withstand the test of time, because when hard times come, when you run, that's what they do. They watch you for a period of years, right? Shucks. Well, we've been doing this for 5 years now, but I noticed though, with my discipline, the longer I go, while I'm faithful, and I've been faithful to it, but I noticed the longer you do things, the more light is revealed to you. Simply because it's just you grow and you develop and you mature, right? So just like you can't give the keys to your car to children, even though they think they're ready to go because they didn't drove Mario Kart, whatever. No, like you have to develop in so many more ways. Like you can't just be thinking about this, but you have to think about everybody that's involved in this equation while you're driving on the road. You have to learn how to drive offensively, defensively. You have to be able to perceive. You got to be looking for shadows under cars. Like all of these things develop in your discipline, So, but they watch you for years. Even who is it? One of the great scientists. I learned about that in that book, but not Copernicus. He was astrology. Hold on. But anyway, while I'm struggling to remember the name, they were, in order to work under them, they had to have proven that they had taken like some of the highest math classes, because to them that was the way that proved that you're patient enough to sit here and work through these equations, by learning how to do advanced math. It's not only teaching you how to do advanced math, but doing advanced math really develops your critical thinking skills, because you got to think about the formulas, all the different variables involved, which is required when you're doing scientific experiments. Shucks, just living life. Like, how is this going to play out? When you're running a business, it really does. I didn't think math was as important. I mean, I knew it was important, at least be able to count the state of your flocks, your money. But it does so much more than that. And as I began to do my study and research, like, oh man, I even got to change my outlook on the way I even look at educating yourself. I'm like, this is amazing. Because some things I just didn't catch on to for a while, you know. So, but taking your time, going through math, learning the like statistics and trigonometry and all these other things, the words scare you. Like, what? Why is that even on my schedule? I didn't ask for this. I'm not going to be an engineer, right? I ain't gonna need that once I get out of school. Oh, how we do. It don't look like this. But what we learn here is teaching you a higher principle of being able to think critically, think through things appropriately, and not leave out the missing pieces. Even while we're going through here doing the research, separating truth from error, from the religious doctrines and dogma, right? We have to be able to think consciously and not marry ourselves to a religion that's going to keep us biased and we can't work out the equation. That's why everything is on the table here. We're reading everything. Thank you, Tikva. I don't need gravity. I just need growth, right? And in order to grow, you have to consider all the parts, all the variables of this equation, right? I love this. All right, y'all. Tabitha said, that's a fact, Pammy. The longer you discipline yourself, the greater the download, right? It is. All right, beautiful people. But that is it for today. I love y'all. Got to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get the mini Murphs ready to roll because we're going to be in the streets today. We got to do some stuff for the business and we just got to get it going. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I love y'all. See y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Okay. Tootie, come on, girl. Come on. You can put on the outro. I don't know, Aunt Mama, y'all ain't seen her come to end the video in a while. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I see y'all back here bright and early tomorrow morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Use this. What you got to do? Okay, see the mouse? Take it, put it over here on brand. Click it. Now scroll down to my outro right here. Now click it.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, making moves.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eye.
Been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cold sign.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cold sign.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this particular universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I don't need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I'm this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.